Let me start this video by saying, for some reason, this game was kind of fun. The game I'm gonna talk about today is an old one from Ukraine called Collapse. This game was released back in 2008 and it was developed by Eurojank. I know you're thinking Eurotrash, and don't get me wrong, this game has a lot of problems and it's not the best. But I'm a sucker for those kind of games, and I had fun with it. The game is a post-apocalyptic third-person shooter that reminds me of Unreal Engine 3 games like Gears of War, Dark Void, and Damnation. The story takes place in 2096 in Kiev, Ukraine, the center of the zone. After a strange interdimensional rift opened, the city and surrounding areas were infested with outwardly beasts and dangerous anomalies. As a result, it became known as the Hole. In an effort to stop the spread of the zone, a quarantine was declared and all residents became hostages. In the beginning, the zone was controlled by scientists and militia, but due to monster attacks and local aggression, it soon became divided between various bandit clans led by lords. Junkyard became the name of both the city and its surroundings. Rodan, the main hero of the story, is a lord of one such clan who is going to participate in a meeting of lords. The meeting turns out to be a trap set by Lord Mark, the leader of a bunch of fanatics who worship him. An explosion goes off, of course you survive, everybody else is gone, and from that point on you try to find the bad guy, defeat him, and yada yada yada. We come to the part why I recommend this game, and it's the gameplay. The gameplay of Collapse is a combination of third-person shooter and hack and slash. The game is divided into different levels that are very linear. Close combat is simple yet satisfying, and third-person shooting feels like any other third-person shooter. It reminds me a lot of Gears of War, but you don't have the cover system. Boss battles are often finished with quick time events, which kinda sucks, but back then they were so widespread, and even to this day, developers use them.
X, and Y.
So we have QTEs for boss battles, which I can live with, but one big problem I have with this game is the sponginess of the enemies. And forget about headshots, they will not die if you shoot them in the head. It takes forever to kill them. Because of the sponginess of the enemies, I recommend playing this game on easy mode. There are a lot of real-life Kiev places in the game, like
Майдан Незалежності.
And
Київ-Печерськ Лавра.
In the city of Kiev, you must navigate through ruins and fight different enemy types. The combat system in Collapse is simple, yet satisfying. You have a variety of weapons at your disposal, including pistols, shotguns, and rifles. And throughout the game, you even unlock special abilities, which are fun to use. The controls with mouse and keyboard are responsive, and the shooting mechanics feel solid. The game supports gamepad, which is really cool, because that's how I play my games, but I recommend that you change some key bindings before you start playing. Visually, Collapse looks pretty decent for a game released in 2008. The environments are a bit lacking and could use some color, but the ruined city of Kiev looks suitably desolate and eerie. Enemy variety is lackluster, but character models look decent and detailed, especially the main characters. One thing that I give all games credit for is the implementation of objects that have physics and can be destroyed or interacted with. I also really appreciate when games have ragdoll physics and blood decals and that kind of stuff. I'm immediately butthurt when there's a table in the game with a bunch of stuff on it and you can't interact with it and it doesn't react to you at all. It's stiff and makes the world feel lifeless. Collapse, however, doesn't suffer from that. The sound design in Collapse is okay. The ambient sound effects in the ruined city help create a creepy atmosphere. The voice acting is solid, but it's only in Russian with English subtitles, and if you play at high resolutions, have fun trying to read them.
Ты получился складный.
Мы знакомы?
Имеет ли это...
Overall, Collapse is a solid post-apocalyptic shooter with some fun gameplay elements. It may not be the most polished game out there, but it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you're a fan of the genre. You can find the game on Steam, and if it's on sale for a few bucks, I definitely say get it, try it out. If you don't like it, you can refund it, as long as you don't go over the 2 hours. That's it. Ciao, ciao.